Alright. Had to fix a few issues, but they are fixed. We are playing Ace Combat 7. I have not decided yet to go back to Kingdom Hearts, but we are playing a Japanese game. Ace Combat 7 is older than Kingdom Hearts. Or, no, not Ace Combat 7. Ace Combat in general is older than Kingdom Hearts. So I've decided I'm gonna do that. That's pretty much it, really. Classes are kind of get to explain why I haven't done much, if anything. Classes are kind of getting more and more. I don't see how this is an FPS. We'll get to that in a moment. More and more involved. They require more and more time. So I'm only going to be able to do them in between the classes themselves. So do these streams in between the classes. But today, thankfully, I won't have to, even though my first live Zoom for this class I'm doing is today, but it's at 7 p.m. my time. And, that's pretty much it, really. So, I guess we'll just begin. I'm gonna do this on casual easy. Just because I don't like the weather effects. I found that with this difficulty setting, even though it is the easiest setting, the weather effects are not as pronounced. I found them to be more trouble than they were worth, to quote Lieutenant Commander Worf when talking about Klingon gods. There's a great Templin Institute video that kind of explains that whole thing. I suggest you watch it. It is a fairly old one, but it is still pretty good. I am also a Star Trek fan, but, that is not what we are discussing here. I don't like the weather effects, is what I'm saying. After maybe the first couple of days, I'm like, oh, these are cool, this and that, But I'm just like, I just want to turn these off or lessen them somehow, and I'm just annoyed. I was very annoyed with them. I eventually did beat the game. If there's one thing I hate in Ace Combat, but in all honesty, it's really quite a staple, and it wouldn't be a Ace Combat game without this, is flying through tunnels. I always avoid it if I can, but there's always a level in at least one Ace Combat game where I have to fly through a tunnel in some fashion. And so you get my point from there. So, let's begin. I also have Ace Combats 5, 0, 4, 1, and 6. Just say.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down
So, he should be banned forever.
that they have attacked the site.
I don't know how to get rid of his thing from
It's possible that
the
the
chat,
ceasefire agreement has been
sadly.
broken for the first
Like,
time
I banned him.
As of today,
It,
Fort Grace
whatever.
Air Base Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that?
There's smoke! We're under attack. There's unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead.
What? How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed.
Many injured.
Scramble. All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
I'm curious, what aircraft do I actually have? So, yeah, the multiplayer in this game is terrible. They should have just redone what Ace Combat Infinity kind of was, but they haven't, and that's actually really unfortunate. Current, oh, can I actually, like, oh, I have to unlock it, which, that actually kind of sucks. Wait. I've unlocked a new part. Stealth! I actually wanted to play as the Su-57 in this game for quite a while. So we will start with that. Get to see a cool, like, video, if you will. There we go. I typed his name wrong. I knew I did something wrong here. We do want some ground-penetrating bombs. Is this... Oh, it's a laser. Yeah, no. We don't need a laser. I never use them. Just because I don't. I have this classic from Ace Combat 6, so we... But, and also the XO2. This, I think, was a pre-order. Or no, it was the original endgame plane. This is a more advanced version of the one you could play in Ace Combat 5. And I believe Ace Combat 4? Maybe 0? I don't remember. But we're playing this Russian beauty. Ooh. What's skin? I would love it if they did, because the Project Aces, I think that's who they're called, did they did a series of skins recently, which I still have to buy, for like real life skins. I'd love it if they did more real life skins and markings and whatnot. So here's Eruja. This is probably more analogous to, oh wait, preview. How do I, there we go. This is probably more analogous to what you would see the Russians painting the Su-57 and such. I know they've had some trouble with the engines, not, like, I think quality was part of it, and then just developing them. I mean, they've tried twice before to make a 5th generation fighter. The mage skin. That's another thing. It's pretty much the same bloody skin. So we'll go with the Eruja skin. I like real life patches as well. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's Trigger, Strider, Lovi, Cyclops. Some of these, I have not played all of the Ace Combat games, sadly. Just because 3 arrowheads. We'll go with that. Just because I have a PlayStation 2 and I have the first one, and PS1 games are playable on the 2. I just have to get the other wait, that's my SP weapon. We have to do parts now. I just have to get the other 2 games, but I'm thinking it might also be a good idea to get a PS1. So increase aircraft acceleration, deceleration, top speed. I'll go with that one. Pitch maneuverability, roll maneuverability. Increases gun firepower, concentration. Gonna need something for those. Lock on range. That's a pretty nice takeoff weight augmentation. Anti-stealth microwave radar. Enhances stealth detection capabilities. Anti-icing, de-icing system. So, yeah. High-speed data link antenna. So that'll be that. Now we can sortie.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by in the front.
I'm also kind of fighting what I like to call the morning cold. So, ooh, that's a pretty cool pumpkin.
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. Sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Golem Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron. Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. The situation is tight. It's a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
The carrier. Whoa. Looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit. Mage 2, form up with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this. Golem Squadron, it's go time.
Oh, it's infinite. That's what that means.
This is the AWACS Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
Wilco.
Trigger, I'm your wingman. You fly with me now. That's what it means to be in an element.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
I've been playing a lot of Project Wingman recently, so it's like, you know, the bumper buttons are not the, like, deceleration and acceleration. They're, like, moving horizontally and such, so...
Careful of ice formation in the clouds.
They're way overhead. Let's go introduce ourselves.
Harbor fuel storage is intact. It's asking for another round. All escorts form up for another attack. Point is 835. Enemy missile using.
Enemy support eliminated. This should make the job easier. Destroy the target. Target confirmed down. Looking good, Mage 2.
And Project Wingman doesn't have like an autopilot leveling
Trigger, stay calm.
situation.
I know the kid's shown some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely gotten his feet wet.
Trigger, don't forget your special weapon.
Enemy missile inbound. Evading.
So,
It's great when it's simple.
yeah.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. But you still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece.
Skykeeper, this is Mage 1, over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Whoa there, Trigger. Settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Wilco. Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Golem, Mage, 2 new enemy groups.
This is HQ. Attention all combat groups.
This is what it looks like on the inside. Very blue, very Russian.
Right now. Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass.
UAVs? I can't tell them
Missile evaded. Mage 2, missile away.
I actually found it easier to use the gun in Project Wingman than in Ace Combat, so... Alright. You're not targeting the right one.
Mage 2, walking.
Harbor facilities and carrier destroyed. I call that mission accomplished. We've still got half our baggage. Emptying them on hangars and runways.
One remaining.
Mage 2, keep your focus. You got this. Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between life and death. Stay sharp, think fast.
Roger that.
To Gollum and Mage, job well done. All bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. We're in the clear.
I love how when he said, yeah, ice forming, clouds, this, that.
What it takes.
We're in a,
Let's
probably,
slow down.
what,
It's just one sortie.
a
Don't try
tropical
to be a hero. I want you to make
part
it back
of
in one
the
piece.
strange real world, you know?
I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Column Squadron.
I mean,
this is
look at
HQ.
that.
Can you confirm any drones?
What's the deal on the drones?
Column 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
Wrong button.
Sweetwater and Gunther Bay. I am Princess Rosa Gusset Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Citizens of Erusia.
All right.
Trigger, your call
Then
sign
we
is
have a
Mage
bit
2.
of the
Verify
replay.
Mage 2, clear for takeoff.
Replay is pretty cool. There's no way to... I wish they had a way of sharing it, or like, asking, do you want to upload this to the Xbox Cloud or PlayStation 1 or something, you know? Or like, save it to PlayStation, because
assessing the damage to the
PlayStation doesn't have that
We have
infrastructure,
confirmed that the
really.
aircraft carrier
At least in the way
Albatross was
Xbox does.
We know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Usian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
Alright. Rank S. This is also one... This was... My first game of this type was the first Hawks game, which I think deserves a remaster. I would like... See, I would like an Ace Combat game, before we continue here, set in like a World War I, World War II kind of timeline and everything. So I think that would be very interesting with some Vietnam,
As of 1 p.m. today,
or at least
the
equivalent.
Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation.
So, yeah.
As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Usia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
It'd be awesome if they actually got
ENN.
like news
OSEA
people
launched an attack
for
on the
this.
capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
Like, I would
Well,
love it
screwed.
if they did that.
20
That'd be
years
so.
ago,
That'd be
the
cool.
Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usia was on the wrong side of the planet. It hit hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning.
I think she's mentioning
That's the war my dad fought and died in. The
Ace
biggest nations from
Combat
two continents
4?
went head-to-head in the so-called righteous Oseans
Maybe?
struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world.
I think that's
They
what
even
it
tried
is.
saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's
So
how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they
Grunder
did that
Industry
day.
is
With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer.
yeah. How is an F-104 going to dogfight an F-15?
In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa consent release of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes covered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I have to turn off the music. I keep forgetting to do
I
that.
was tried, found guilty, and
Although
stuffed into a cargo ship.
most of the
For
time,
company, I had some court
Ace
martial
Combat
soldiers.
games have this
And remember
thing
those
where
mothball planes I told you
they
about before? They were loaded
kind
with
of
shit.
tie all the audio settings together. So
We headed off down south for several days and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia on the opposite side of the Usian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base. But half the tanker trucks were just big balloons. And the runways weren't even paved.
Which,
just painted on
if
the
you
dirt.
know your history, we did
The whole
that
place
to the
was just
Germans in
one
World War
big
II.
fat lie.
With fake balloons, among
The
other
only
things.
reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out and set the dogs on me.
All right.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Yusian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent.
Probably more than that.
Blind-eyed this critical situation. The Fort Grays Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
All right. So this is looking like I'm gonna need a multi-roll probably. So let's see what I got. So we already used this. Right. That's the 47. This was Russia's second attempt at a Gen 5 fighter. Not as stealthy, I think. You know, some would call it a Gen 5, Gen 4 plus kind of a thing. Let's go into the preview. You may notice, hang on, that the wings are reverse swept wing. I think we experimented with the idea at one point with an aircraft similar to the F-20 or F-5, being the U.S. Notice I have the Slovakian emblem on there from Ace Combat 6, but I found this to be intriguing, although they ended up canceling it and put like lessons used from that towards their existing platforms. And, yeah. It's probably in a museum somewhere, to be honest. I would actually like to see it up close, because I think that would be really cool. So, but no, we will not be using it. This is the Su-34, the fullback. What else is there? The Gripen. I love this plane. I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite planes out there. Mirage 2000. We might go with this. This is the competition plane against the F-22. Now, from what I remember reading about this, and I actually talked to a guy at the U.S. Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio once when I was down there. He said that in every conceivable way it was better, but a mix of politics and the fact that the F-22 was supposedly cheaper kind of allowed it to win. But I mean, it was a part of that program at the time. I forget who was making this one, but I know Lockheed Martin made the F-22. This is, I mean, we could go with this, sort of. This is the C model. Should I? This is the F2. This is actually a Japanese licensed copy of the F-16. It is a primarily, well, at least in my experience in the games, it's been more focused towards ground attack capability. The Japanese, I believe, are now the F3, which will replace this and probably another plane, maybe the F-4J or F-15J. I forget what it was supposed to replace entirely. But this was supposed to be an entirely Japanese design. The F3, I don't think I've actually, like, I've read about it and I've seen what artist renderings of it could look like, but I don't know if design has ever been finalized. So, what was this? Oh, this was the plane from Ace Combat Infinity. Okay. Built to handle a variety of situations. Okay, so there's rockets. No. Go back. What? Let's go with my friend here. ADMMs. Let's be honest. If in Ace Combat 6, the ADMM was so overpowered, and you had considerably more than 110 of them, too. So, play the game and you'll know. You have to beat the game on hard difficulty in order to get it in Ace Combat 6. So, and my water is too far away. So, yeah. But, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Intersect! Fire the AA! Get the radar vehicle out of there! What the hell do you need the nearest airport?
It's popping off now, Trigger. War has officially begun.
Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Get the fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle!
Target has been destroyed.
Move the vehicle! We can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now. We're using the containers now. Those weapons are meant for tactical flexibility.
Mage 2, missile away. Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy
Sure.
interceptors inbound.
Well, what, before I forget, do they just not? I'll have to deal with it next stream then.
Wilco, here they come.
Because sometimes,
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
2 targets remaining.
That radar was just about to go online. Push the plan forward too fast. This is too far from Allied territory.
oh, it's been so long.
Trigger,
Right.
there's one more to go.
I don't remember. How do you use flares? Like, before, Ace Combat never had flares, so I'm perfectly fine with
Radar vehicles destroyed.
like, oh god, what was it? I'm perfectly fine with just maneuvering to get away, but the thing is, okay, so that's, the thing is, Project Wingman actually got them to work and gave you infinite flares instead of like a crappy amount of them. But it's like a 6-second reload, which is fine. Oh my god. I have to get used to that. Oh, that's gonna be so weird.
Missile connected. Keep your mind focused. All right, this base is worth destroying.
All transports have been destroyed, but what were they carrying?
5 targets remaining. Missile closing.
The clouds don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
I would think modern missiles and whatnot are better than that.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Launch preparations complete. Bolts are free. Whenever you're ready. Stand clear.
I'm still getting...
Ready to launch. Away.
There we go. Still getting confused.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogeys on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones. Well spotted, Clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. So that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
Target is down.
Doesn't matter.
That's a miss.
He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning. Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah. Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to go.
I also like that this is a Delta Wing.
Anyone who takes down an enemy.
It's a very strong airframe.
Doing good.
The French, actually, the vast majority of their fighters are actually Delta Wings. Oh my god, I still have to get used to this control scheme again. So... Of course.
Don't try to read their movements.
Don't try to read their movements. What else am I supposed to do?
So, drones don't feel the G-force, huh?
1 to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
Crap. The aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Attack missed.
Where'd he go? Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear.
The skies are clear.
RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ...
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar.
Yay.
The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Sure. I'll go for that. Next mission. So this is largely going to be air to air, I think. So there is that.
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier, Kestrel II, was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel II is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force proclaims its bid to the space
We
elevator.
kind of like destroyed that
Fort
in a
Gray's
previous
Island Air
Ace
Base
Combat
Squadron
game.
will rendezvous with the
I
carrier
forget
Vulture
which
for a
one.
joint mission.
But
The first
yeah.
objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft.
Sure.
There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone.
No. That
Unmanned airborne aircraft carrier.
I thought that was the X-47B. I have to look that up.
The Ocean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide
X-47.
support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's
The
true,
Northrop
it could be a
Grumman
significant
X-47B.
We
Still
need to
experimental.
gain
The
control of the space
idea
elevator
is
ASAP. Good luck out
carriers can launch drones and they can like refuel, they can do reconnaissance, they can do ground strikes. I don't know if they're advanced enough to do air to air yet, but I'm sure that is where we are headed. Out of F4s. Oh man, I need to make breakfast. I haven't stopped yawning. What is gun? Okay, so we're gonna do ultimate performance. It's variable, swept back wings, canards, another unique wing construction featuring 4 tail fins. Or tail wings, granted overwhelming superior maneuverability or mobility, whatever you want to call it. This almost looks like a Gen 6. Sod. That can lock onto both airborne and ground targets. When combined with standard missiles, they can be used for a concentrated strike against a single target. Can we buy it? Aircraft tree. Oh, wait. No, we can. Okay, good. What was this? Do we just select it then? I'm assuming that's what we do. Because it's a DLC plane. It's not like an unlockable plane, basically. Just, okay, so that's our plane. Okay, so I guess we can just lock it. Or, well, you got my point. Parts. Queen's Custom. Takeoff weight augmentation. Special missile homing. increases reload time. Hardpoint expansion. No, that's just bomb load. We don't need bomb load. Let's get rid of that. High energy propellant. Reduces homing capability. Oh, we'll go with that. And then that one. Now we will sortie.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete.
This is like... I would honestly like to speak to an aeronautical engineer who's worked on fighters, like designed them, preferably, but like also other aspects of it. And I'd like to speak with that person and show them planes from Ace Combat and be like, so what do you think the designers of this plane for this game were thinking of when they designed this? You know, because most of the special planes in this look very plausible. So like this looks quite plausible, honestly. And we're launching from a carrier. That's always fun. Wait, let's do it like this. There we go. It's like a Ultra 6 5th gen F-14 or something. Or F-18 or whatever, you know. But this is definitely influenced by American design. It's more stealthy, it's more angular.
Squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace.
Sure.
The upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Golem 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that we get wet wild and do dirty, dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to them like glue. Don't let them out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins.
Enemy reinforcements. I don't like these odds. There's an enemy on your tail.
The flank is open. Shelton 2, move in.
Evading.
Clouds are screwing up the accuracy.
Yep, I'm well aware.
That only scratched me up. Continuing with combat. Grand 3 is bailing out. I'm hit. I've lost control.
This game feels very, very cinematic.
Your fingers should still move, even if you're in a 9G turn.
Oh, that was... Hang on. We got, I just saw the plane. I made a game clip, and I usually like to record my game clips and upload them onto my... I have a port channel, that's my actual name. I can assure you I am not a living, breathing, talking bowl of lobster bisque. But, yeah.
I got his tail in my sight. Eject!
We've got this. They can't recover.
We need reinforcements now.
I have to look at that.
We have them on the run. Don't let up.
Bandit acquired. Firing. Roadblocks 2.
Maybe it's my headphones.
One remaining.
Is the enemy command insane? Why aren't they pulling out?
Lockdown bandit.
Evading missile.
One eye's up in there.
Hostile on your tail. Looks like they weren't ready for a fight.
Mage 2, box 2. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even a sweat.
They have to be crazy to pick a fight with us. A rabid dog would know better.
Missile incoming! Evade! Break! Break!
Wait, what the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft stay alert.
Ah, there we go. There it is, the Arsenal bird.
UAV's closing.
Just learned that Eruzia is utilizing the Arsenal bird.
Whew! Whew!
That thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
And this guy keeps looking at Skeleton 1. What do we do about that monster?
We're just waiting for mission command.
Missile. Missile.
You'll live through this, Trigger.
Watch out, we're surrounded!
Can't get a read on
These guys are definitely a step above the last drones.
Missile.
Damn, they're agile. There's too many of them.
These guys won't go down easy.
Break! Now!
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the Arsenal bird.
There's actually a mission where you do that. It is... There's a part of it that is, how shall I say, very difficult when shooting it down. Oh wait, is it activating its shield? Where is it? Yep, it's about to activate its shield.
Missile.
Oh.
Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, this is Gargoyle 1. Skeleton Squadron needs help. The hell are we supposed to do?
Status?
Verifying the situation.
Mage 1, get your head out of your ass. Stop arguing with the damn
Come
drone.
on.
Column 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
It's chow time. This is column 3, column 2's hit. Status report.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Shit, column 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Okay, there we go.
Skeleton 3, break! Break!
Take them all down. Column 3, Fox 2, sick 'em.
We lost another friendly!
Skeleton 3's lost.
We just keep coming. What's the plan?
Where's that report?
Continue to maintain air superiority.
HQ, what's happening?
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority.
How did that happen?
Missile. Missile.
What the hell? Caution, all aircraft stay alert.
Get out of there!
Breaking!
Control zero. I'm breaking up!
Skeleton 2 lost.
Shit, we got incoming!
Skeleton Squadron is down. We've had too many losses. All squadrons, command has ordered a complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
Brilliant observation. If they knew this earlier, more of us would have survived to hear it.
Save your chatter for the debriefing. Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
Wilco, but column 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Column 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
I've got you now. Firing.
Missile launched.
What I find, because this game's been out for a while, so I'm going to spoil some of it. What I find a little, weird, not so much annoying, but weird, is that Trigger never encountered his old squadron towards the end of the game or in any of the DLC. Like, everyone knows who he is, but, yeah, what can I say?
Missile inbound. Evade.
Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs. Good work. More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
This is fine. Affirmative.
There's the guy from the trailer.
Operation Airspace with Golem 2.
Retreating aircrafts. Prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
One bandage. SU-30.
Gargoyle 1, caution, missile!
Fast. It's like he...
Skykeeper, Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report.
There's nothing I can do to save her.
Just talk to me.
I'm against an SU-30. Merge wingtips. I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run.
Locked. Mage 2, missile away.
Going for the
Golem and Maze Squadron, help us!
Get those UAVs off of France.
Let Golem and Maze Squadrons handle it. They'll pull through.
Get your asses out.
I'm dead meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared. I'm scared.
This is not good. Brownie, break off.
Mage 2, UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Fortress aircraft. We'll let you take it easy next time.
Got one in my sights.
I can't shake it!
Column 3, Fox 2. This is getting a little tight.
Does Maze Squadron still have their hot shot? Then we just might make it out. Don't look back, just have faith. Golem and Mage, we owe you a debt. And we'll pay it.
Hell of a good job, Mage 2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm grateful you're around.
Golem 2, what's your status? Status report.
He's a predator. The weak get eaten.
Column 2, get a hold of yourself. Column 2, get away from the enemy.
Mage 2, support! Somebody! Support!
Bandit is down.
Golem 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got Brownie?
Afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry.
A few seconds could mean life or death for him. Hurry up. I know. All we can do is fly away as fast as we can. Hey, Squadron, get those things off my ass.
I'm tied up now.
I mean, you're flying F-14, so...
All UAVs have been splashed.
Who doesn't? I mean, I love the F-14 as much as anyone, but...
I said what I had to say.
Yeah.
About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, withdraw.
Holy shit. So, I like to follow a lot of, like, aviation or historical aviation themed Instagram pages, and one of them is of a IL-2 with more holes than I would have thought like a plane could handle. I mean, really, it really is made out of stalinium, which makes it impossible to kill, basically.
3,000 to carrier. Lower your speed. Your approach looks good. Stay on course. 1,500 to carrier. Perfect, Mage 2. I knew you'd be back.
Probably not the best carrier landing in the world, but it is something.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation.
That's French, by the way, for those that don't know. I believe it's made by the...
Unfortunately,
I believe it's made by Rafale Aviation or something. It's a French company.
During the attack on Farbanti. Carrier-borne aircraft mistakenly bombed urban areas, and this has turned public opinion in neutral countries against us. Our own forces also suffered heavy losses. If it weren't for a few extraordinary fighters, many of us wouldn't have made it home. The situation is grim. We have precious little time, however. We have to get to the space elevator.
Gotta love it. Like, gotta love, like, comedic animal stuff.
Here he comes.
That's adorable.
Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now, compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle.
Well, he didn't do
As a
much.
pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole.
How very
If you
Western.
took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing the stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Erusia's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Erusia lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? 'Cause someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too.
That's
I swear to God,
something.
every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd
That's...
point out stuff that was wrong with Osia, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, burn Osea down. No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Osea, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
As proved by the failure of our previous strategy, the Arsenal birds have bolstered the enemy's anti-air network. This will be difficult to overcome. However, we still need to get swiftly to the space elevator no matter what it takes. Someone there is counting on us. The hero of the Circum-Pacific War and the man who spearheaded the destruction of the space elevator. Osea's former president, Mr. Harling. Mr. Harling was inspecting the elevator when the war broke out. He's been classified as missing since the elevator was taken over by the Erusian forces. However, according to the latest intel, a military officer accompanying Mr. Harling hid him inside the facility. Both are waiting for a chance to escape. Enemy anti-air radar network has been set up around the space elevator. It's likely a large squadron would be detected. We will send a single aircraft through the network and send in a rescue team soon after.
Oh boy.
A number of anti-air radars have been set up around the space elevator. However, our reconnaissance suggests their network is weakest along the southeastern coast of Silicon.
Boy,
So
been
we can
yawning
elude
like
the enemy's
crazy
observation.
today.
There are a lot of rain clouds this time of year. Flying through the clouds will enable us to stay hidden from their radar. If you happen to be detected by their radar, we will be forced to abort the mission.
Oh.
The lone pilot who will head up this strategy is you, Trigger. After you bust through, secure the rescue craft's landing zone by taking out the anti-air weapons. Gollum and others will arrive shortly for support. Provide escort for Mr. Harling's craft after rendezvous. Good luck out there.
I'll be flying up that thing at some point. Okay, so it's this. We'll be doing this one. It's also a ground attack weapon, so yeah, let's do parts. But right, where's Queen's Custom? I mean, why not?
Aircraft preparations complete. Sortie ASAP.
Entering operation area. Imposing radio silence. We'll radio you, but you are not permitted to make contact.
If you're spotted, the mission is over. Stay out of enemy radar.
There was
Is also strictly forbidden.
a mission in Ace Combat 5 that was this way. Although you kind of had to escort someone. Only the finest adjustments.
Careful of ice formation in the clouds.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Trigger, you're a third of the way to the rendezvous point. Good job, but stay.
Whew! I have sneezed. I just flew past a major airport and no one is saying anything. You would think they'd be able to see me with their eyes.
Situation normal. Nothing sighted.
Really? Okay, looks like I can take a shortcut.
Trigger, you got two directions you can take up here. Just go with your gut. Don't worry, we're watching over you. Careful of ice formation in the clouds. You're making good progress, Trigger. You're currently halfway to your rendezvous point. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's just gonna be you and your radar out there. Just know, you got a bunch of people pulling for you.
Ah, thanks for the vote of confidence.
And I'm one of them.
Yeah, that's nice.
You're 3/4 of the way. Been a long fight, but you're nearly home. Harling is still the president in my eyes.
What's happening? Give us orders.
He ended the war, built the space elevator, and launched a spaceship from it. Despite his success, he remained a humble hero. I'll do my best to save him. Lend me a hand, Trigger. Rendezvous point dead ahead. Hang in there.
Something's happening. Nothing to report here. Everything's quiet.
Trigger, the first stage of the mission is clear. Don't celebrate yet. The real fight's about to get started. Radio silence is now lifted. The auxiliary craft will be arriving shortly. Destroy the anti-air around the space elevator. We're securing Sea Goblin's landing zone. Mage 2, anti-ship missile away. Mage 2, target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Missile.
Mage 2, target down.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Half of the SAM sites are down.
Trigger, sorry about the wait. Cavalry's here.
Missile.
Column Squadron. Trigger jumped through the fire. Now it's our turn. Understood.
Gargoyle Squadron, stay focused. You all know your jobs.
All aircraft, eliminate the enemy before they can respond. Half of the anti-air guns down. Sea Goblin will arrive shortly. Eliminate hostile anti-air before then.
Missile.
All SAM sites down. There are still AA guns. Destroy them and secure the LZ.
This is Sea Goblin. We've arrived. Do we have a clear LZ?
Sea Goblin is a helicopter squadron from the 5th game, so
Anti-air weapons are down. Destroy them. All anti-air guns destroyed. The landing zone is secure. Sea Goblin, you are cleared to land.
Roger.
and I'm gonna be flying up that. Somewhere up there, I think. I forgot where. Maybe way up there. Oh. Here we go. Ah, the Chinook.
Rescue craft tagged on. Initiate.
Rescue craft on the ground is defenseless. Gollum and Mage, destroy all hostiles.
It's been a long journey, but you're on the home stretch.
Gargoyle will stand by near the space elevator.
This is Sea Goblin. Heading over to the ex-president's location now. Run for the container!
Missile.
Vehicle down.
They have a lock on you. Shake them. Yeah, Mage 2 destroyed the target. Golem 2, hang in there. Damn, I'm spiked.
Mage 2, missile away.
Ambush! Fire from the far shore! They're targeting us! Get behind the chopper! Return fire! Sierra 2, hold position! We're cut off!
UAVs approaching the space elevator. Stop them.
Taking fire! We're pinned down! Shoot back!
Eliminate all enemy UAVs. Don't let up.
Ex-Prez identified! Behind the gantry crane! Mr. Harlan, stay right there! Jacob's been hit! Incoming rocket!
Sea Goblin, all survivors, respond. Is Mr. Harling alive?
They got the chopper and Sierra too! That was thermobaric!
That's about half. Mop up the rest.
Rocket!
Damn.
Copy. I am with President Harley.
Funny thing is, I'm surprised they didn't use the original, like, because he was in Ace Combat 5 as a different character. Same voice actor.
I heard you were in the Air Force, Colonel. Can you fly?
Technically, he was in the Navy, so...
It'll do. The enemy has a lock on you, Mage 2. 3 remaining. All squadrons be advised. The call sign is Mother Goose 1. I've sent the information via the data link.
Mother Goose 1. I mean, that's what he was in number 5, so...
Mage 2, Fox 2. 1 remaining.
Missile.
All UAVs have been splashed. All aircraft. Former President Harling's transport is ready to take off. Mother Goose 1, take off.
The original, Mother Goose 1 was actually a C5 Galaxy.
Let's wait till we're home safe.
Probably one of the biggest cargo transport planes ever, I think. The biggest one is the AN-224. So,
Sighting confirmed as MQ-101, forerunner for Arsenal Bird.
The big bird is coming, huh?
Mage, protect Mother Goose 1. Shoot down any UAVs. Gollum, intercept the UAVs.
Golem 1 will kill. That last battle taught me a lot about those a-holes. Golem 2, don't stray off on me. Always maintain element.
Wilco, forming up.
kinda wish I had multi-target AAs.
Roger. These are the transport. Orders are to fire warnings. Yes, sir. He's an old-timer. Has no clue what UAVs are used.
Mother Goose 1, UAV on your tail. Take evasive action.
I hear you, but this isn't exactly a fighter. Understood. An Arsenal Bird is on its way. Strategically, I chose liberty over justice. Courses have already changed.
I'm going to kill that fucking thing if it means the end of my life. Oh my god.
I mean the harbor. They won't be able to get home. That ship isn't one of ours. Where's the signal? Gargoyle, change radio frequency.
Mother Goose 1 here. We're about to leave the airspace. Keep your fingers crossed.
Gargoyle, it's time.
Oh, yep. Belkins!
Gargoyle 3 to Babel. Babel, roger.
Skykeeper, what the hell was that?
Gargoyle did their job.
I figured, but why weren't we informed? The IUN can't coordinate between branches as usual.
Gargoyle Squadron, report.
One hit was scored. The rest were intercepted by UAV. The elevator's windbreak took a scratch. Nothing more.
Roger. Continue to maintain air superiority.
Mother Goose 1 hit!
Mother Goose 1 has been hit. Colonel Johnson, respond. Page Squadron, assess the situation.
This is Mage 1. I have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. Cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good.
Colonel Johnson, are you okay?
Don't worry about that. Just send help this way. I'm sorry. Can Mr. Harley please
1, respond. Mother Goose 1.
Skykeeper, should we continue providing cover for Mother Goose 1?
Of course. Mage 2, Fox 2.
Going forward, bandit on your ass!
Mother Goose 1 is turning. What's going on? They're heading to the space elevator.
Why are they still in the air?
It's flying at a steady altitude. Who's in control?
It's not the Colonel. Mr. Harling's the only one on board. Mother Goose 1, respond!
Trying to fly through would be suicide.
Mr. Harling, please respond.
We can't protect our objective if it sticks around here. Now's not the time to freak out, fellas. We've still got a job to do, so let's do it. Keep your mind focused.
Mr. Harling, we are not giving up on you. The UAVs are approaching Mother Goose 1.
Let's go, Trigger.
Take him down now, Mage Squadron. 1 minute remaining.
Lock acquired. Mage 2, kill confirmed.
Mother Goose 1, turn 180 degrees and exit combat area.
Mage 2! Mage 2!
Oh my god, Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was Ocean. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating.
Friendly fire. I saw it.
Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like it tried to protect the elevator. Erusian bastards, they just killed a hero.
Mage 1, was it Trigger? Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told
Not
you to
actually
keep a
flying
goddamn eye on the
F-18s here.
hatchway. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal Bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately. Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand why.
Oh, well, there's that.
The operation to rescue former President Harling has failed. Sadly, there is no hope he survived. Trigger, you are suspected of assassinating the former president. There will be an inquiry. There will most probably be a court-martial.
Gotta hit 2 hours somehow.
Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Ocean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Ocean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, He called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this. Talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
I have a cat, and she is demanding I pet her. Flora, come on.
All right, guys, I'll let you in on some juicy info. The new guy was found guilty by the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial. He is the murderer of Harling in the flesh. His TAC name's Trigger. Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Ocean Air Force Base 444th Squadron. But that is just some symbolic bullshit. It doesn't really matter if he's Harling's murderer or not. Every last one of you has been incarcerated for one reason or another. You cons have an obligation to atone for your crimes. A few of you in the penal unit know how to fly, and HQ needs to plug the deficit in our Air Force. So they proposed sending you guys on a reconnaissance mission to the Waiapolo Mountains. But that idea was flat out rejected. Nope, you'll be atoning for your crimes right here at this base. This base is a decoy designed to draw enemy fire. And as members of this base, you'll be taking hits from the enemy. This will allow our forces to safely prepare a counterattack.
Incoming!
Switch off that alarm. It's just the usual. I thought Zapland was supposed to be an isolated area. Okay, I'm gonna need a few aircraft.
No, don't climb on the shelf. She sometimes likes to climb on the shelves, and I have to clean them. And
just need to make it look like
yeah, no. One time she tried climbing and like jumping on it and everything and couldn't get her footing right. It was a completely empty shelf. She still fell off of it. Landed on her feet. She's fine. But sometimes she has a habit of not always getting the correct footing on these things. Does not happen often. Yeah, so okay, I'm thinking after this, because I'm kind of getting hungry, we're going to do the XO2, then we're going to... Well, then I am going to just go eat. We obviously already did the SU... That's a pretty cool missile. We obviously already did the SU-57. Is it bath time? It's morning bath time. If you have cats, you know what that means.
It's time to get busy, convicts. Proceed with your mission now.
Oh, such a fluffy little cat. She's adorable, as all cats can be. I have another one who is a rescue. He was a wildcat, although the story with him is he was a kitten when he was a wildcat, and when he was found, he was the only one of his family left because we think the neighbor's dog ate his family or something. And he was, I guess, saved. He was, an anthill was being built on top of him, and his eyes were just opening. So what that means is he didn't really have that feral stray tendencies at all. So he grew up quite literally as a domesticated cat would. And he is still around today. He likes to sleep a lot. There it is. He can be very playful at times. So
Spare 15, takeoff confirmed.
yeah.
Altitude restriction lifted. Go.
So, no missiles again. The FCS is locked. Damn, you're good. Let's make this more interesting. Prisoners use nothing without supervision. Not even a pencil. Here comes Harling's murderer. He shot 2 missiles right between old Harling's eyes. Always in the know, aren't you? In this war, intel is a life or death matter. Settle down. Excited to have another murderer with you?
Yeah!
This is Bandog. Spare 15, I'm handling surveillance. The bombers that attacked the runway are coming back for another round. I know it's just a dummy runway. You guys just need to make a lot of noise. Make them think there's fighters at the base. Anyone got a smoke? I'll owe you one. If any of you die, just think of it as you atoning for your crimes.
Much appreciated.
One more thing. Any aircraft leaving the operation area will be shot down. You hear me?
Yeah, I get the idea. Nope, there they are. I think the Russians are actually one of the only, I think they are the only Air Force today that actually uses guns on the back of bombers still. Yeah. I know we used them on B-52s for like a really long time.
Shit! The enemy just hit the control tower.
Hey, what's with all the shaking?
There's smoke.
Send in the fire team. Do not let the enemy get closer. Are you trying to kill me?
Shall I order them to shoot down all? Commander McKenzie? Damn it! Spare squadron, listen up. Shoot down everything carrying bombs. Weapons free. You're cleared to engage. Show no mercy. Done by now. After they make the odds. Want to bet which one of us gets the first kill from the start? This is not a first. If count's going, I decide whether you die. All right, I'm assuming command. All aircraft support me. Who's gonna dance to your lying tune? I'll show you all how it's done. Fox 2! Fox 2!
Missed. Giving it another go.
Spare 15, bandit splashed.
Trigger, keep an eye on your head count. We can compare later.
Yeah, I'm betting that report will get dressed up real pretty.
Your ass is mine. Die.
Head to the next target. Radar ping.
Flora, come here.
Detected. Take care of them. Righto. A bomber's at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches. The more scratches, the more heinous the crime. They're called sin lines. You have 3 scratches, right, Trigger? Well, you are Harling's murderer.
Target the plane I want. Alright, where are those bombers?
No way anyone's gonna take the top score from me. It's in my blood.
Got all dressed up for nothing.
On my target.
Missile. Missile.
one to my score.
Right. Alright, there we go.
At least he's decent at what he's famous for. I wouldn't go that far. Target's that slow on a challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer. Multiple bandits inbound. We got bombers and support. All aircraft follow me. You too, murderer. Jeez, now he thinks he's squadron leader. On my enemy's tail. Dodged. Trigger, don't get shot down now. I got good money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back. Spare 7, shut up.
Missile.
You don't need a yap to pull the trigger.
Missile.
Oh, please die.
Dodged. Target acquired. Shot down. Trigger again. We're losing quickly. Don't get excited. It's beginner's luck. Can't maintain altitude. Bailing out. This is a pretty nice ride. It's been serviced pretty good. Scrap. Just what kind of magic does she have up her sleeves anyway? I don't know what her problem is. Acting like she's royalty or something. That's because she's the scrap queen. Queen? More like a bad-tempered tomboy. Trigger got most of them. Maybe even all of them. That was dumb luck, Tabloid. Spare 15. Don't take all the fun away from your comrades. Chew on lead, pal. 3 targets remaining. The targets are still active. Keep up the attack. What the hell are you doing? Are you... Wilco, Commander McKenzie, please maintain silence for the moment. Spare 15, what the hell are you doing? Attack! Duns, get closer. Bring that down. I'm surrounded. Wow, look at Trigger go. Lucky shot. 1 bandit left. Take him down now. First come, first served.
Missile. Missile.
This is School 6. Locked on bandit. Attacking.
All targets confirmed eliminated. Yeah! Hell yeah! Still alive, Harling's murderer? Then dinner's on me tonight. Cut the chatter, Spare Squadron. Mission complete. RTB.
More petting. Is that what this is? It's more petting. Her food is full. Usually,
Spare 7. What happens if the
I refilled it earlier in the morning, so usually it's part of my morning routine before I eat breakfast, depending on when I eat breakfast. Usually before.
Just checking.
I always will fill up her food and Mr. Cat's food. They share the same bowl first.
Make your landing check. We don't
And then,
Spare 15.
basically, they eat. I make sure their water's full. I do their box. Always before I eat, so.
Too fast. Lower your airspeed.
So, yeah, that's that, really.
Lower your nose. You're too high.
Am I?
1,500 meters. Right. Stand by for your next sortie.
All right.
I lost a lot of money for that trigger. Don't forget.
Yeah, I remember you end up killing a guy in, like, bit in the game.
Go now.
So. She's also Flora, the one who's currently sitting next to me demanding I pet her and play with her a little bit, because I'm dangling something in my left hand at the moment. She is very soft.
Did I say you could take down the enemy? Throw anyone who disobeys into solitary.
Oh, glad you feel that way. So that's gonna be it. I hope you have a nice day. We banned a guy, And that's pretty much it.